COVID-19 Solvency Ratio Protector. The COVID-19 pandemic crisis will affect your solvency margin. Right here, through a reinsurance treaty, Sechat Consulting is offering you a way to be keeping the best possible solvency ratios. Let's go straight to the point. Here is a sitting simplified statement. Assets are on the left, liabilities are on the right with the debts, best estimate, and risk margin. The sitting own funds are on the top right. The solvency capital requirements are here lower than the funds. The SCR are in this case covered at 140% rate by the sitting own funds. We will now visualize how the COVID-19 crisis can affect your balance sheet and your solvency ratio. The market crash and economic crisis will lower the sitting asset value, the liabilities. The remaining sitting own funds won't be covering 100% of the solvency capital requirements. Our product consists in sitting a fraction of the risk margin and a fraction of the solvency capital requirements. Transferring a part of the risk margin and a part of the SCR to a reinsurer via a non-proportional treaty will allow the sitting to continue cover its solvency capital requirements by more than 100%. The reinsurer typically has a higher leverage depending on the reinsurer level of mutualization. The required capital to cover the risks of the sitting will then be way lower than the ones required by the sitting. Mortality swap. How does our product work? Mortality risks will be transferred to a reinsurer according to a chosen level. This to be defined, and it can also be evolving as the crisis goes on. The excess mortality rate will be taken care of by the reinsurer. A shorter mortality rate will be favorable to the reinsurer. You will reduce a part of your mortality risk margin and reserving solvency capital requirements, and you will also reduce a part of your life cat risk margin and reserving solvency capital requirements. According to our scientific valuations, we will be calculating a premium to be paid when a reserve saving is made or advised on the overestimated provisions. Let's look at an application on a mortgage insurance portfolio. The portfolio size is 5,490 borrowers. We'll be calculating the mortality solvency capital requirements. We will be starting with the portfolio mathematical provision on which we will be applying a 50 mortality chalk on the death rates to recalculate a new mathematical provision including the mortality chalk. The 1.5 million euro difference of the two provisions will be the mortality solvency capital requirement valuation. We will now be calculating the life cat solvency capital requirements. To do so, we will recalculate the capital at risk. The capital at risk will be the cumulated amount of the loans to be paid by the 5,490 borrowers. The value of the capital at risk is a bit more than 340 million euros. When we multiply the value at risk by 0.15%, we obtain a life cat solvency capital requirement of 510,000 euros. What we will be doing next to evaluate our leverages will consist in calculating the sitting company solvency capital requirements with and without the mortgage insurance portfolio in order to evaluate the diversification impacts on the solvency capital requirements. We will conclude that the contribution of the studied portfolio to the solvency capital requirements is of 1.1 million euros. To estimate the appropriate priority for a reinsurance treaty, we will be doing evaluation of the portfolio expected claims. Here are the results we are getting. We can in fact validate this model with the reinsurer to define the priority value of the treaty. If the claims are over the estimated portfolio expected claims, the reinsurer will be supporting the ceding. If a particular year the claims are under the estimated portfolio expected claims, the reinsurer will just be collecting its treaty premium without disbursements. Here comes an example of a scenario. For year 1, claims are about 100,000 euros under than the expected claims. So year 1 is beneficial to the reinsurer. On year 2, the expected claims were about 600,000 euros when in fact claims were a little above 850,000 euros, resulting the 250 euros to be covered by the reinsurer. This goes on year after year. From this model and by running thousands of scenarios, we can define the right premium for the treaty through our estimation of the reinsurer leverage and the evaluation of the saving on the solvency capital requirements, improvement of your solvency ratios made. We will be able to evaluate a fair treaty price for you and your reinsurer. Why should you want our assistance to set up a solvency ratio protector treaty? With our actuarial models, we will evaluate for the ceding the right treaty premium and the right commission to be paid for a particular risk transfer. Our models will be fed by your data. We will also be able to assist you with the dimensioning of the treaty. This type of treaty is a win-win for ceding and reinsurer. We will make sure to find the best reinsurance deal for your treaty with our broker partner. Please feel free to contact us to discuss your needs.